Folks, welcome back to the channel. Finally, we're seeing some movement on Bitcoin. The last video I uploaded was just before the CPI data, United States inflation data, and said be careful. If the inflation is slightly worse than expected, I am expecting a big dump. If the inflation is exactly as expected or better, you can expect a pump. Well, the latter is what happened. If the inflation came out exactly as expected, but the core inflation was slightly better than expected. That caused the traditional markets to go higher and also for Bitcoin to go higher. And I said already that could be an ignition for us to move price lower or higher. And then we have these lows here and these highs here that are up for the grab when it comes down to liquidity. That's exactly what happened. We had a pretty strong move to the upside. And I got into the long. I didn't update you guys at the moment, but I just earlier did it on Twitter. I got into the long trade from the VWAP at the time, and that was approximately 1 hour before the CPI announcement. We came up to the VWAP. That's now the white line in my screen. I got into the trade. There was a nice bounce right here. Stop loss just underneath. I thought, well, if the news is bad, it will stop me out pretty fast. If the news is good, then it might be a nice pump, and that's exactly what happened. The news came out, it was pretty good, and yeah, then you can see that we just moved higher. So it was a little bit lucky. I also posted it here on at Twitter. I got in the trade and then I took partials out, and I also added something on some strategic places, so you can also see that the entry price is moving here a little bit. I also tried a short, that one got stopped out unfortunately, but yeah, that was actually how I played the move here to the upside, so that was a very nice result. We're here now on the daily. First thing that I need to notice is that the point of control moved a little bit lower. That's because we are spending quite a lot of time here. That was just before was that here just underneath the golden pocket. For some exchanges it is still here, but I actually expect that soon every exchange it will move here lower. I saw that still on Bybit was higher, but now on Binance you can see it is here. So I expect that actually for every exchange in a couple hours that will move here to this current price level. We had a possible short level. By the way, let me take out the VWAP real quick. We had a short level that was here, these highs. That is also where I tried to short. Once I saw that we were going lower, thought we were going to lose level, I'm going to enter a short, because then I have a long here from the bottom, a short here from the top, and then whatever plays out, I'm making money. But yeah, as soon as I saw that momentum was still pretty strong, and I just let myself get stopped out. With that being said, would I still take a short if we are going lower? Yeah, could be, but I really want to see a clear loss of the level. So for example, a 30-minute or a 1 hour underneath, and then I will short, and then I will try to put my stop loss somewhere locally. But if you want to be more conservative, your stop loss needs to go above these highs. The exact same scenario would also go from this high. So point of control is now slightly lower. We first had it approximately here, and I said, well, if we go then a little bit higher into that golden pocket, then lose it, then I will short it again. Here is the exact same. If we are going there, we're spending some time, we're going lower, I will only enter the short if I see a close of a 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour underneath this level, and then I will entertain a short stop loss above the highs. But to be honest, right now we are pretty bullish, so I do not expect actually that this trade will work out. If it will present itself, I will take it, but I do not have high hopes from that trade. The second short that we can take is still from the value area high 78.6. Also here, the exact same. This used to be my most preferred trade, but since the momentum now is pretty bullish, and I feel like more people are looking at this, it's actually not really my preferred scenario anymore. We also have these highs that can be taken out. So yeah, the scenario is still go to this level, eventually reject, get into the trade. But like I said, not really my preferred scenario anymore. The third short that you can take is a filled higher high here. So we are eventually going higher. Price will try to make a new all-time high, fails to do so, and then eventually you get into the short here and then just trade it all the way to the downside. So 3 short levels. This one, yeah, not my favorite. This one, yeah, this one is probably the best. I actually expect that if we are able to reclaim that point of control and also really bounce from this level, then I think eventually the chances are very, very high for us to make new all-time highs. But again, if the opportunity presents itself, I will try to short. We never got the long here from the golden pocket. We had that nice support and resistance daily high. We never got that trade. Huge bummer, because I was so focused on this level. I was ready to bet the freaking farm if we would get there, but it just never happened. So that was pretty unfortunate. But like I said, I got in here on the VWAP. So sometimes you also need to be a little bit flexible with your expectations. If you're not in a trade, what can you do? Well, if you are bullish like me, if we are going higher, what I now like the most is to get in here from the 0.5. That is approximately 63,500, because that also matches here with these two tops that you can see. So also here, treat this a little bit as a zone. This actually would be a very nice level. And then we are taking out yesterday's low, and maybe also here making a nice bullish divergence. So price is making a lower low, and maybe on the lower time frames, of course not here, on the lower time frames we are making then a bullish divergence. So let's see if we can have that on the 30-minute. Yeah, we could. So let's say we do something like this, then we could have a nice bullish divergence on the 30-minute, if you see what I mean. To be honest, this is actually already a little bit of a deep retracement, so I'm not completely sure if we can get that today, because like I said, the sentiment has flipped pretty fast, and so far it looks like everything is just being bought up also pretty fast. This would mean a drop of 4%. On a Friday, after having such a big impulse move, I don't know. I think the chances are not so big to get this trade. Like I said, it is my most preferred 63,500. I think we're not getting it. What would be actually nice, and at least something that I personally am aiming for and I would look to get into, but mind you, very important, you need to see something at the level, is again a VWAP. Just how I took the other trade is that we are coming back to the VWAP, bounce and backtest, and then eventually to get into the trade. You can have a pretty tight stop loss, usually around the VWAP, 0.5%, 0.7%. That's pretty nice, and you just play it to the upside. I would really aim for new highs, and eventually actually that golden pocket and that S&P probably here from 67,300 is. So that could be a very nice risk to reward. Let's say we do something like this, stop loss approximately 0.5%, and then you aim for new highs. That is your first TP is at 125, and then eventually to the golden pocket could be 129, 110. So that could play out pretty nice. Then, last but not least, why did I flip my bias? Not only because of this impulse move, but also because we barely see any good retracement. And if I combine it then with what I see on market Cipher B, and let's only take the 1 hour and higher, look at that money flow. It just looks pretty strong. Don't short this, because this looks like a bearish divergence. I have burned myself many times in the past thinking, oh, I see bearish divergence, let's short the farm, right? So we're going up a little bit, making a higher high on price, making a lower high on the momentum waves, short. But if the money flow is as thick as it is right now, trust me, the chances of you getting burned are much higher than that this trade plays out. So you really want to see the money flow rolling over in case you're using market Cipher. Then let's quickly look at the 4 hour. Also here, actually it looks pretty okay. The money flow is increasing, VWAP is increasing, momentum wave just printed a green dot, RSI melted together and pointing up. That signals strength. I think that this could have more room to the upside. Let's now also quickly look at the daily. This right here, it looked pretty bearish. Let me put this in real quick. Like when we were, when we were here, just only based on market Cipher, this looked pretty bearish, right? Because money flow was just pouring out, VWAP was coming up, we just printed the green dot, or you can even take 1 day before. So that didn't look all too good. Actually, let me do this one more time because I want to make sure that you see what I mean. So here it actually looks pretty bad, right? Because everything is just pouring out, but then you have that squeeze to the upside based on the CPI data, and you can see how fast then also the indicator can change and how fast sentiment can change. Don't dwell on saying, oh, but I want to see 40k first and blah, 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 blah. If market's changing, just flip your bias. It's fine. You do not have to marry a level, marry a price. You don't owe anyone any explanation or obligation. Just flip your bias and then just trade with the trend. Trust me, it makes life so much easier. And here now on the daily you can see that the money flow is coming up a little bit, and the momentum wave of course is higher. Not yet the strongest, but I would say it has some potential to maybe go higher. I think that the current level where we are right now, really that point of control, so that 66 is where we are fighting with. If we can close higher and even close then here above these highs with a daily candle, I think there's a big chance that we are going to take out the all-time high, so that would be pretty bullish. Be careful because of course we're having the weekend, then volume is usually a bit lower. I expect that for this time for once we could see some movement in price because we had a pretty good week, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to shake out a couple of longs or a couple of early shorts. So be very careful. If you have any questions, if you want me to chart something, if you want me to upload some other content, I was maybe thinking about some educational content about trading, please let me know in the comments. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will be more than happy to make that kind of content. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all. Don't miss anything if you subscribe. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those links you find in the description. See you guys very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.